Well, hello, my darling dewdrops, and welcome to Arrow Nicely News. Today is Friday, June 10th, 2022. My name is Lenny Hernandez, and we've got a great show for you today. We are talking about Pride Month and the celebration that have been happening within our communities. Then we check out a delicious holiday, Donut Day, with tasty treats involved. We're also taking a look at Memorial Day and how the fallen were honored by our communities. And finally, we check in with some old friends and their found family. Ooh, it's gonna be a great episode, so don't go anywhere. Without further ado, allow me to say, welcome to Arrow Nicely News! June is Pride Month, which is a celebration of the world's LGBTQ+ communities and a special time for them to have, that's right, pride in their identities. For many years, the LGBTQ+ community was forced to hide their true selves from the public eye for fear of persecution. Then came the Stonewall riots in June of 1969, when members of the LGBTQ+ community fought back against police after a raid on the Stonewall Inn. The following year, the first Pride marches were held to both commemorate the resistance to persecution and to show others that they are not alone and can be proud of themselves. The marches and celebrations have been going strong ever since. Arrow communities are inclusive and welcoming to all members of the LGBTQ+ community, so to show their support, residents deck themselves out all in the colors of the rainbow, each day celebrating the color and what it represents in the Pride flag. Red meaning passion for life and living. Orange for healing. Yellow representing sunlight and stimulating new ideas. Green for nature, prosperity, and growth. Blue represents serenity. And purple for color of spirit. Residents also did rainbow tie-dye clothes and painted planters all the color of the rainbow to be added to their community gardens. But that's not all. Today we are proud to release another installment of Arrow's very own Diversity and Inclusion series, a Pride conversation on acceptance and being yourself with Jeffrey Marsh and Barb Clark.
Well, I tell you, life can be so exciting if we're open to it.
Yeah, that's that question about fear, right? That you brought up. It's like, are you afraid? Jeffrey, are you afraid to wear makeup and make TikToks and have people say mean things to you on the internet? No, and not anymore. You know, when I mentioned briefly that Tucker Carlson on Fox News played my video and said things about me. And so in my inbox, you know, I got all these emails with death threats.
Sure. I was not surprised.
And I spoke to my partner and, you know, we decided, yeah, I have to keep going and doing this work because what I care about is spreading love, being kind to people, showing people what we've been talking about, that you can live without fear. And to me, that's worth any risk. Really.
You also know by doing that you don't know whose life you might be saving.
You've saved some lives in your time.
Sure I have, but you know what? You have too.
Yeah.
By being yourself, being yourself. Because we don't know when they walk away from us.
I think at the end of the day, that is much more important than saying the right words, getting the vocabulary right, getting, you know, I think, yeah, being able to look in people's eyes and help them to see that people like us are humans, right? Yeah.
It was a beautiful conversation between those two, so be sure to watch the entire video over on YouTube. Link can be found in the description, so click on it and check it out. And a happy Pride to one and all. We see you and we accept you. Our next story of the day is sure to make Homer Simpson salivate. Friday, June 3rd was National Donut Day in the United States, and boy, you better believe that our community celebrated. Glazed, jelly, Long John, old-fashioned, sprinkled, you name it, residents ate them up. Check out some of the pictures from this delicious holiday. We hope you got to enjoy some tasty treats, but even if you didn't, there's no time like the present. Who else could go for some donuts right about now, huh? You? You? Every single night. Donuts. Seriously, I like just the ones with sugar on them. Just dough, sugar, nom nom noms. Memorial Day is a holiday to honor military personnel who have died while serving in the United States Armed Forces. It is a time to take a moment to be grateful for the sacrifices made for the safety and security of all Americans. It's also a day of rest from school and work for many, making the day a little bit more celebratory. People enjoy cookouts, days in the sun, water, the lake, so much more. And for Aero residents, it was no different. They wore red, white, and blue and made the most of the day with good food, great company, as well as some commemorative ceremonies to honor the fallen and to thank those who are still with us. We hope that everyone enjoyed their Memorial Day, and be sure to take some time to think on those we've lost. And for our final story of the day, we got a nice little update on some friends of the show out of Vitalia Strongsville. Now, Frank and Dee made news last year when Frank showed off a letter that he had received years ago from a little girl thanking him for his military service. Now, he carries that letter everywhere he goes. And when the community's resident services director, Jill Pulowski, heard how important that letter was to Frank, she decided to try and do some little detective work to track down that little girl. Well, much to everyone's delight, she was successful. They surprised Frank with Dashauna, who is now an adult and a member of the military herself. Their meeting was so touching and heartwarming that it made national news, and Frank and Dee found themselves being interviewed by major news outlets everywhere. Well, the strangers quickly became family, and Dashauna stopped by the community the other day with her 1-year-old son, and they had a nice little visit. Frank and Dee were absolutely overjoyed to welcome them into their home, and they brought smiles to everyone that they came across. We meet our loved ones in sometimes just the strangest ways, and this story, I think, will be sticking with everyone who hears it for the rest of their lives. I have no doubt about it. Congratulations, and good to see you all, Dee and Frank and Dashauna. It's good to see you all again. Well, and that'll do it for this week's episode of Aero Nicely News. That's it, everybody. There's no more, so go home. Oh, you're already home? Huh. Well, good. Stay there. Enjoy some television, some popcorn. Well, for Aero Nicely News, I'm Lenny Hernandez. Have a lovely weekend, an even better week, and we'll see you all next Friday.